Hey, Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to the BLOB game, where we are on the verge of heading into the next era and beginning the world domination BLOB expansion. I've been doing a lot of aggressive chopping in some of my cities. It might actually be a good idea for me to pick up and use Magnus in a few of these cities. I guess the best place for him to be is over in Harrylia, where there's quite a bit of chopping we can do to make use of the city. And I guess in Nagari Jziri, I'll probably send a couple of builders down this way. Haha, I managed to get a sneaky little city in here, just nestled in between three city-states. Oh, Tadmeka flipped independent. That means Mali is in a dark age, as is Gran Colombia. Sweden and Hungary aren't, but that should mean that there might be some cities up for grabs. Now, who has the most loyalty pressure on this? It might actually be me, because we have a special golden age. It's giving us 2.0585 loyalties. We're getting slightly more loyalty than we would normally. We've almost broken the loyalty of Auckland. Oh, Loja's loyalty could break if I had a Mani over here and continue to grow these cities. Ooh, I do say, now, it might be a good idea to get a friendship with Bolivar so he doesn't, declare war on me. That would be bad. That would be bad if he declared war on me. Gior is flipping. And with this Dark Age, maybe I could sneak a couple, or with this Golden Age, maybe I could sneak a couple of settlers in over on this territory. If I can get Tadmeka to flip to me, anything is possible. Now, the question is, do I want Reformed Church? Reformed Church is pretty good, I feel like. The extra faith discount when I'm churning away on a pretty strong faith game. Mausoleum time. Hello. This is going to be a very, very fun city. This is going to be one of the most fun cities I've ever developed. Mausoleum and Signy together. Just a really, really fun and cool combination. So we've got our shrine in Nagari. We've got our aqueduct in Nagari. We definitely want our granary and our prasat, because we want to try to force this city to continue to grow. It's going to need builders. In fact, this is probably builder priority area number 1. So I'm going to be feeding builders in from Angkor Wat. Minus 20 loyalty here. I could possibly sneak in a city here. And then if I sneak one in there, maybe, just maybe I could sneak another one in around here somewhere. Because look, there's a couple of independent cities we could grab. The potential exists. There's options. Where there's options and there's ways and there's means. There's possibilities. There's our first campus, and it's a really high adjacency campus too. I wouldn't mind getting down my Diplo quarter. Now, ideally, you want your Diplo quarter to be adjacent to your city center to pick up the one envoy, but is that really a big deal? It's like 75 or 50 influence points or 75 influence points, depending on the phase of the game, Let's just quickly crack out another builder and do a little bit more land development in our capital. I should probably pick up the Domri because that is a significant amount of era score, and I need 50. I need 50 era score to get to the next era. That's an awful lot of era score to get to hit another Golden Age. And if I hit a Dark Age at this phase of the game, it's going to be a rough one because I just have so many cities on the outskirts and stuff. So this is going to have to be a very era score heavy phase of the game. And the good news is I have a lot of options for generating era score. I need these units to move. There we go. Thank you. They've stepped aside. Now, I would love to be Susan of Valletta just so I could walk through their territory. That's not going to be an option, sadly. Now, this is a really aggressive forward settle by Mali. Honestly, but I'm going to grab this city, and it has a commercial hub, it has a campus, it has an aqueduct, so it has kind of most of the things we care about. The only thing it's missing is a holy site, which we could build up pretty quick. And grabbing this, man, does that open options potentially here for settling this whole section here. This game's potential has just cracked wide open, and I'm loving it. Let's quickly grab one Domri to be able to fill out our quota of Domri, our Domra quota, if you will. I want to have one for the era score. I'd like to not miss this next era, so I'm going to push as hard as I can for it. Granary Gurdwara. Every city is just getting granaries and gurdwaras. Now, government more or less remains the same, except I get to go for retainers. So I have another option for amenity generation. I don't want to plug in anything else. I mean, 11 production is quite a good bit, but scripture just does a lot for me right now because I'm pretty sure I get food equal to the adjacency bonus of my districts, and my adjacency bonus is pretty decent as it currently stands. Chop chop. Let's start developing Harry Harrialia. Now, I kind of wish I had a better understanding of this land, but I'm just going to play for short-term value. Like what looks like a reasonable decision to make with like limited information. This looks like a good holy site. The best place for an aqueduct of these 3 tiles is like here, I guess. And then maybe the city should go there. This looks kind of within, oh, you see, I can't actually settle there. That kind of looked like in the realm of reasonability. So maybe I settle on... Maybe I settle here. Boom. I put the holy site there, and the aqueduct remains where it is. So there we go. That's what we're going to do. It's only minus 10 loyalty in that city, which should be easily manageable. Now, at one point this game, I'm probably going to want to develop Moksha into the ability to be able to purchase districts so that when a city flips, I can instantaneously buy an entertainment complex and a holy site in that city. So this is kind of the direction I'm going to start developing him, is towards faith purchasing. That I think is going to be an important mid to late game ability for him. So that's the way we're going to push that. Chop out the holy site in here, get the nice culture bomb, grab ourselves the granary and the monument. Then we'll very quickly grab ourselves. Actually, there's actually quite a nice aqueduct right there, because I can put 2 farms adjacent to it, which is an extra 4 food. So that might be the way we go there for that. We're working a lot of unimproved tiles, so like Anchor Wat has just been spamming builders. Like it finished its holy site and it's it didn't even get its tier 3 holy site building or its granary and watermill. It's just been spamming builders with Liang because it's the most efficient thing I can do with that. Like I could theoretically come in here and also purchase builders, but maybe I just need a lot of builders right now, I think. Yeah, it seems like a reasonable choice. I'm in a kind of builder drought. Well, not a drought, but I need more. I need more builders, is basically what I'm trying to say. Now, minus 13 loyalty, settle here, 7 turns. This city should grow and continue to put pressure on it. We can place our holy site. I kind of wish I had gone for Ancestral Hall here. I know I went for Audience Chamber because it made sense, but then I didn't realize I would have so many opportunities for settling. So I made like a suboptimal choice. But I guess that kind of helps the game be a little bit more interesting and not just a steamroll, because it was kind of looking a little bit steamrolly there for a while. We actually completed a full queue of 8 builders in this city, and we're going to do another one. So I will clear the construction queue because I want to chop the aqueduct. So I'll chop here, boom. Then it's 3 turns for the aqueduct. And this city already has its holy site aqueduct combo, which means it's growing extremely rapidly, starting to exert pressure on Loja, which is almost already in negative loyalty. In fact, if I used Amani with 1 more governor title, I could get it into lower loyalty. Already, things are looking extremely positive for my empire. Gatarja, nice to meet you. I think if there are any like 1-tile islands that I can't get loyalty pressure on, I might give myself like a little exception to them and not have to flip them. That just seems like an awful lot of work. So let's continue our adventure in chopping here, buying tiles and then hitting them with builders as hard as possible so we can get the city fully developed and grown, and spreading is basically our goal. We want this thing to start hitting these cities with hard loyalty. I would really like Gior to have been flipping to me, or even flipping independent in like an ideal perfect world. I'd even like to get cities in here and stuff like that to really shake up the map. But I got my Domri, which is +4 era score. Not too bad. I'd love to pick up more districts, but I'd also like to pick up my government buildings. I'm kind of thinking about which one helps me the most. I think Grandmaster's Chapel here, because this will give me a way to leverage my faith into an army, which will help me when I'm starving enemy cities. So I think Grandmaster's Chapel, that's the route we go here. Even though it doesn't really do much for us, except in the very, very long term, I think it's good enough in the long term to be worth going for. Let's keep pushing this city's borders and chopping to finish infrastructure, because our number 1 goal is to just feed as many builder charges to that city as possible and have fully improved tiles. Now, thinking about my position on the map technologically and culturally, there's basically no one I can attack safely except maybe the Malian Empire. Even then, he's still 50 science on me and has like way better tech. So it might be a while before the sort of pillaging Stockholm syndrome part of this comes into play. But eventually it will have to. I will hit a hard limit on the number of cities I can flip. Something will have to give. There's diplomatic service giving me access to the chancery. I should probably get my diplomatic service building district rather. It's kind of late that I don't have it already. Now, the loyalty in here is a little bit bad until this city flips to me. But maybe we could make this work. There's a river here, aqueduct is a possibility, all the things we'd like. It opens up this continent for me to start maybe bombing some of these cities with loyalty. All in all, I'm loving our position on the map right now. It was looking very weird like 100 turns ago, but man, the difference 100 turns make to an empire. Now we're sitting on 4 envoys. And I think I said I would like to be Suzerain of Valletta to be able to settle down here easier, but I've already got my settlers true. Are there any guys here that like interact with loyalty? Anshan wouldn't have been bad to pick up. Valletta is a good pickup actually, just in general because of the faith purchasing ability. So maybe we'll go ahead and grab Valletta, just so we can actually buy things with faith without an issue. Like city center buildings, whatever we need. We can like faith purchase walls and granaries. Next turn we get Tadmeka, control of another city from the AI. Yoink! And then the loyalty in here is now perfect. And we actually have access to a spice tile. The greatest tile in all of Civ. Yeah, those of you who don't know, I have a video. It may or may not be out yet, but I have a video where I'm like talking about what are the best tiles in the game. Hint, spice tiles. Spice tiles are the best tile in the entire game. Let's get our granary, let's get our monument. We want to grow this city. So ideally, this is where we're going to yeet Moksha into Tadmeka, because he's going to be like, this is kind of the pattern that we're going to follow when we fill up a city. We get Moksha into the city, we buy the district we need, boom, 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 boom. We start exerting pressure on the next area. So I bought the temple and I faith purchased the Gurdwara in here, just because I want the city to develop as soon as possible, because I really need to get the entertainment complex down in here so I can start doing the anti-loyalty project, because like, look, this guy's got +5 loyalty, so I need to start pumping loyalty out of this city with an entertainment complex. Now, I'd say we could justify a city right on the border with Mali. Oh God, I'm gonna have to starve that city so much. The problem is, where do the aqueduct go if I go there? So that means that needs to go here. The aqueduct needs to go there. And this will be one of my loyalty platforms that I spring into Mali with. Boom, we chopped out the entertainment complex in here, so now we can start doing bread and circuses. It could be worth it to pick up the arena. It's 2 amenities, which is an awful lot of amenities for a city like this. I am going to have to start thinking about a military as we head to the next era. It's still 20-ish turns away, but you gotta have a military to be able to reclaim the edges of your empire that like flip independent if you do hit a dark age. And like, there's a distinct possibility that we hit a dark age here, right? We got another 30 points we got to get in 20 turns. That's a big ask. That's a really big ask. Now I want to, I'm kind of forced to settle in place here to block the Swedish settler here. So I will settle in place because I saw a settler, and we shall grab ourselves a very, very tight aqueduct and a holy site. And we need builders over here big time. Gurdwara purchase, watermill purchase, granary purchase. We want these cities to continue to grow, and then we'll buy a few builders to head out this way. In Tadmeka, I actually am going to quickly buy a settler because it's like an easy, quick forward settle I can pull off here. Every city that I can acquire makes my eventual goal of loyalty pressuring people so much easier. Now, in some ways, it makes it a little bit harder because the more cities you have, the more amenities you need to maintain those cities, you know, so on and so forth. But generally, that holds true. The more cities you have, the better. The Kampong Save is essentially fully built. It's just missing a bunch of chopping. But I think that chopping is better spent here on the front line. It sounds weird for the front line of my empire to be a city I'm trying to grow. Like, that's the front line. This is the trenches that our people are like fighting in. Is like the farming town of Haralaya. I'll never be able to say these city names correctly. It'll just never happen. So what can I do in this city that helps the rest of my empire be better. And I think it is build traders and stuff like that, and get like commercial hubs, because this city isn't on the front line now. Unless I wanted to flip Jerusalem to me, which I guess isn't like completely out of the realm of insanity, it could be done. Oh, that's right. Flipping a city state actually requires some sort of outward pressure. That's not just pressure from population. Ah, right, because they have that hidden effect. Yeah, we need to bring the other effects down. So we actually probably won't be able to, unless we can get their amenities down. We probably won't be able to flip some of these city states, because they just have too many other effects. Like they have base strength and other effects. But the likes of these two cities here, these should be easy flips. The second this arena finishes, we just start cranking out bread and circuses. That's an extra 0.5 pressure per citizen. That's another 4.5 pressure, scaling down slightly. And then we'll do the same thing over here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just purchase the Gurdwara in here so we can get started on that entertainment complex ASAP. All right, drop down another city. I think, ooh, that's looking very settleable now. Minus 12, we could easily manage that. And that would give us a road into Hungary. Oh, it's tempting. It's very, very tempting. Plus 4 holy site next to the river. And then we just drop an aqueduct wherever I think it makes sense. Probably there. It's fine. So let's grab, I think this is our, maybe one of our last settlers is this one. Because I think the land is now well and truly like chock a block with cities. Priya Vihar. Oh, you don't have your holy site yet. You need a bunch of builders over here. That's what you need. I think we can move Magnus now. We can reassign him to Kampong Sve and then do a bunch of chopping in here. Boom. Quick whirlwind of chopping and then get on with our lives. Now, if we're thinking about these frontal cities like Hariharalaya, I want them to grow as fast as possible. So I'm going to be sending trade routes from here to my capital in the hope that we can grow that city faster. And I'm also going to be developing a pretty hefty economy in these cities too, specifically for the development of trade routes. So I can grow, edge cities slightly faster and just get this up and going a little bit quicker. Mansa Musa was ravaged. I think we will vote up that aid proposal. That way we can be the good guys and send him money before we inevitably flip his cities. We're one of the only 2 people, so we can literally just come in here and be like, hey, here's like gold. There you go. I am now leader of the aid request. We have our Grandmaster's Chapel. We definitely want our Diplo Quarter. I'm going to just pop it there. Boom, chop out in here. We drop down the commercial hub. We'll get ready to chop even more. So we have a monument in Tadmeka. Can I focus on food in this city to get to 10? I need to get to 10 population in here so I can get a holy site, and I need to get to 13 so I can get a you know the thing I'm talking about. Entertainment complex. Grand Inquisitor. He's got Citadel of God now. 1 more point away from Divine Architect. Let's fire off food from our capital to this city. Boosh. It's another plus 4 food per turn. Won't make a big difference for now, but over the next few turns, it will. Oh, it's happening. 15 turns until Loja flips. Oh my God. I will take new districts flipping, and I guess duplicates of Jade should die again. I'll just put all my Diplo favor into that. Not that it matters. Oh, people actually voted for Amber this time, but I did get the Culture Bomb ability. 15 turns until this city flips. What can I do to speed that up? It's probably just a loyalty and amenities thing. Oh, he took out his governor, so it's flipping slowly, so I need to speed that up. This is only a -3 here, and this gets my foot in the door for hitting Niani. Now, I have a lens here where I can do, I think it's a range of 9 tiles. This can tell me which cities can pressure, like this little rangefinder, right? So like, let's say, here's the best way I can use this. If I go over to Gran Colombia and I hover over Loja with 9 range on this thing, every city that is highlighted in red can exert loyalty pressure from my empire to this city. So Kampong Sve exerts pressure at the lowest rank. It's only got 10% of its pressure. And the closer a city is, the more pressure it exerts. This is just a good way to tell. Like if I wanted to focus on Niani, I can tell which 3 cities are putting pressure on it. Because the basic way the loyalty pressure system works, the simplest way I can explain it, is that the city gets 100% of the pressure, and then every single tile that you step out, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or whatever, that pressure goes down by 1. In fact, maybe it's actually even smaller than I thought. Hold on. It might actually only be 8 tiles. Or maybe the loyalty is just too low to show at this range. But yeah, basically, the loyalty gets stepped down every time you step away from a city. So this city is going to need serious help, in the sense that it's going to need production and gold pumped into it, as well as builder charges, to make it viable. So taking a look at our golden age status right now, we're a mere 13 points away, and there's only 18 turns at a minimum left in this. So we might actually be able to pull this off if we continue down this path of glorious, righteous fury that we are upon. That is like the path of converting everyone with loyalty pressure. We got our Diplo quarter. Let's work on the consulate and the library. And I want the chancery as well. Now, looking at Kampong's Fae, it has a holy site, it has a commercial hub, and it has an aqueduct. I probably do want some entertainment complexes, purely just for the local amenities with an arena. And plus, this city actually can just barely influence Loja, which is now at -7 loyalty, so 12 turns to flip. It's going to be our first major victory. Kayapoi technically was a victory, as was Tad Mecca, but these were kind of passive, incidental victories. This is the first time I've actually targeted a city for flipping. Tepako Hiwi should be an easy flip as well. Lots and lots and lots of farms. Boom, boom, boom. Let's lock in all those farms to lock in that growth and lock in the high yield tiles as well. It's already up to 11 pop in here. I would like more. I need to think about Nagari though as well, or Nagara as well. I've been kind of, I don't think I would say I've been neglecting it. I just haven't been focusing on it. That's probably a more accurate read of the situation. And maybe it's time for another settler in here. No, I think it's time I just start mass purchasing builders from this city. I can purchase a builder every turn for like for the rest of this era easily. And I can just kind of spread those around. Holy Site and Aqueduct. Now, thinking about this city, I think it is in range of Gao, just barely in range of Gao. So things like an entertainment complex will be important, but Gao won't be a flip for quite a while. So I think it might be entertainment complex in here first. Or commercial hub, rather. It might be commercial hub first. Because those trade routes are also going to form an important part of my cumulative strategy. Let's start running bread and circus in Nagara. So we could try to force the loyalty down lower in these cities. Hit them hard while they're not expecting it. I need a ton of builders in Nagara, actually. It needs to happen soon. And really, if I wanted to, I could start putting farms on my hills. Because I'm about to have civil engineering. And I would like 2 farm triangles per city. That would be ideal. I mean, even more would be probably even more ideal. But maybe we just go mass farms and try to grow. My question is, yeah, because if you look at Nagara and Harihayala, they influence so many cities from their range that they should totally get lots of farms pumped into them, because that's going to affect things for a while. Indrapura, on the other hand, doesn't really influence anything, so it's probably going to be a commercial hub in here. Just get those trade routes, get that gold flowing, because my empire will need some gold. I know I'm heavily reliant on faith for a lot of my economy, but you always need some gold. You can't just go goldless. I mean, you could try, but it doesn't end well. Ooh, the mass builder spam has arrived. These are like the winged hussars of the Khmer blob build, dude. When the builders arrive, that's when you know things are about to kick off. But mainly I need gold to be able to manipulate my empire's borders. That's the main goal of gold. Is if I... Ooh, loyalty? Oh, loyalty is negative while running bread and circuses in this city. Incredible. That's exactly what we want to see. We have them exactly where we want them. I'm chopping everything I can that gives food, just so I can just grow these cities. Grow. Because even Gior, this city's got to start hitting loyalty issues soon. Yeah, look at that. It's only a 3.3 positive loyalty. God, I wish I had an undo button, because I just misclicked purchasing another settler. I only wanted one to just fill out this little area over here, and I misclicked an extra settler. It could have been a builder. That said, this 900 faith settler could have been like 8 builders. Like that's how devastating that misclick is. How's our loyalty in these kind of edge cities? It's pretty bad. 8, 23, and 8. Let's grab Amani and put her in the fresh city. I should totally have Amani on the front line actually giving negative loyalty. I need to do that with a governor title. I'll probably need to like rearrange this a little bit. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of room for me to play with in terms of like city loyalty at the moment. Now in the future, that'll get a little bit easier. But right now, I'm a little bit constrained. Hungary is denouncing me, partially probably because I forward settled him and he's mad about it. 27 turns. Now, Gran Colombia, they are not in a dark age, so I kind of need to hit them now. Let's grab Amani, and we will put her into Haurihailaya. And then we'll also chop in here, to get another pop in here. Which, despite my best efforts, the city is still negative on amenities. Despite my best efforts, the city is still completely crumbling under the weight of its, like, the needs of its population. You know, I kind of referenced putting a city in the center of my little diamond here, and I think I will. If nothing else, then for a meme. Just a meme city. Just a little old meme. You know how it do be when you're doing memes. Everyone loves a little meme city in the center of their empire. Everyone's talking about them. It's their favorite thing. Ooh, we got the mausoleum. Very nice. Hello, thumbnail. Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, aka the free thumbnail wonder. Oh man. This is one of my favorite sites. It actually isn't objectively, like each of these tiles individually is pretty terrible. Like that's the reality of the situation, but it looks impressive. And that's like the really important part is how good does it look? So we have civil engineering, so we can now build farms on hills. We also have access to a new builder card, public works. That doesn't really change too much because we're mostly using monumentality to get our builders. But it does kind of push us in a new direction, and we can like build builders. We could switch out of faith purchasing is going to go away soon. Like at the end of the day, there comes a time in the near future where we will not be faith purchasing anymore. And so we need to be prepared for that. That's coming. It's on the way. Let's grab Divine Architect. So now we can use Moksha to actually purchase districts, which kind of changes the faith game a little bit. That's our transition out of monumentality, by the way. That's why we go for Moksha, to give our faith relevance in the late game. We should totally get that chocolate online, although we do want to wait 2 turns for chopping for Magnus. Although, you can always put a farm there. Why not? I guess, do I just spam farms now on every tile now that I have the option to? Do I just like obviously these inner cities should have production because they have no reason not to have production because they're not spreading their loyalty. But these edge cities are totally just going to spam farms everywhere. And I mean like literally on every tile. So we need 8 era score. I think building a galley would be a big chunk of that. God, I don't have a good coastal city to build a galley in. So the galley is like 3 era score. I haven't ever built a unit that takes strategic resources, so I could upgrade to like a swordsman or a knighter requiring unit. I could build a man-at-arms. That's a little bit of era score. Do I have a horseman? Actually, that might be cheaper. No, man-at-arms is the cheapest one. Let's also think about it. So that's like 4 score right there. Then it'll probably come down to envoys if I could maybe snag suzerainty of someone. Or, yeah, Auckland I think would be the play. And I will have enough influence to get Auckland most likely. I can also levy a little bit to get some era score. I don't think we're completely trapped on era score here. I'm trying to think. Circumnavigation will be one I do next era. So it won't be one I do right now, but once I have caravels, we will do circumnavigation. We are in Renaissance. I'm kind of an era behind where I should be. Well, no, I'm about half an era behind where I should be. Like theoretically from the game's pace. Magnus is now established, so we can actually do a little bit of infrastructure chopping in here while we have Magnus, rather than wasting it on those projects. Boom, boom. It would be fun to get Huey Toakali. So maybe we'll put 1 turn into that. There's a 5 amenity Huey. Definitely a fun one to pick up. Loyalty in Vimaya Pura is too bad. I'll need to move Magnus there next turn. But, it should be fine. Take control of Auckland. Boom. There's a little bit of era score. take back control of Valletta. Boom, a little bit of era score. Maybe look for some raw gold via trading luxuries. Raw gold, raw gold, raw gold. I just say raw gold. Like it's gold per turn or flat gold. Most people say flat gold. I don't know why I say raw gold. It's just the way I say it. Okay. So now we're up to 1,500 gold, which should allow me to levy Auckland, and that was 1 era score for levy. And then if I can levy Valletta, boom, that was another era score. So now we're looking real nice. Galley finishes next turn. 2 turns after that, the Man-at-Arms finishes. I think we are golden. I think we're golden. Skin of our teeth, but we are gold. So we won't actually be allowed to finish Yuito-Akali in the city for quite a while, because we need to get Loja flipping back towards us. Minus 1.2 is too slow. The big key thing that we're missing is the loyalty pressure from Amani, but we are only 8 turns from nationalism. There it is. Era score 135. We've secured another golden age. Now the next dark age, that is going to be pure brutality upon our economy. You are not prepared, okay? Let me tell you, Illidan was right. You are nowhere near prepared for the devastation that will be wrought upon my economy if I don't hit the next golden age. And that problem just gets worse every time I miss one. It gets worse. It gets worse and worse and worse. But technically, I'm ahead in culture right now, and at least on par with most people scientifically. And personally, that would tell me things are going well. You don't have to be winning to be winning, right? Sometimes it's all about the trajectory, not where you are. It's a vector, not a attribute or whatever. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. It's a vector, not a scalar. That's what I'm trying to say. There's an acceleration involved here, and that's really, really important to keep in mind. Oh yeah, speaking of, I can actually just totally faith purchase this holy site, and then gold purchase the shrine, faith purchase the aqueduct, gold purchase the granary, and now the city is like churning population out like rapidly to the point where it's at plus 14 pop, or rather plus 14 food, plus 38 food surplus in Nagara. God damn, that's tasty. Oh, what flipped? Oh, my own city flipped. Whoops. I guess I wasn't paying attention to the loyalty, was I? It happens. It happens. That's okay. Surely that won't come and like bite me in the ass later. Like that's not going to be a long-term problem. We'll be fine. There's no way that there will be consequences for this. It's not like this city is going to form a loyalty muscle that'll make it impossible to break in through the south of the continent. So I'll have to break in through this part of the continent. There's no situation in which that would be even remotely possible. There's no way that could happen. It just can't happen. Like I just expecting it like 3 hours later, it happened. He was posting copium. Come on, just give me Loja. Just Loja. It's all I want. It's at minus 5.1, but he might get a golden age. I really hope he doesn't get a golden age. God, it would make me so unhappy if he hits a golden age and nullifies my loyalty pressure. Even a normal age would probably be devastating to me, because I was just starting to break the loyalty in and around here. I feel like every time I try this though, I always get like super, super close to my goal, and then like something very small stops me at like the finish line. So that's kind of what I'm expecting here. Maybe that's a bit of a pessimistic way to look at things, but it has been my experience every time I've attempted a challenge like this, which is partially why I don't usually try challenges like this. Like I'll get so close to my goal, and then some tiny little RNG event that I couldn't have controlled. Loja flipped independent. Do you know what that means? That means Simon Bolivar didn't get a golden age. Oh, but Mali did. Well, we can hold off with dealing with the Mali. It does, however, mean that we kind of need public works now, because we no longer get access to monumentality, but we do have access to other things. Like, for example, Sakdina, which I probably should have had plugged in. That's another 0.5 loyalty per population. Now, this is where the loyalty pressure should kick off. I'm expecting the Grand Columbia's empire to begin falling this. Like, this is the turn that the tumbling began. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's talking about Attack on Titan. Oh, the rumbling. Let me tell you about the tumbling, okay? Grand Columbia, they're ready for a tumble. They're going for a spill. Although, real talk, the rumbling is kind of a horrifying concept, and only a depraved mind could have come up with it, like, in my opinion. Even so, infantry? There's infantry coming from this city. How do you have infantry? I guess it is that part of the tech tree. God, it really does not feel like much happened this game, and you have infantry. All right, I guess he has infantry. Yeah, I don't love that. That's not my favorite thing in the world. What is my favorite thing, though, is how many of these cities in this area are flipping down, and it looks like I might be able to grab all, if not all, the most of them. Let's take Amani and pop in the -2 loyalty card, or ability into her. It's probably one I should have had like a long time ago. But hey, look, listen, I'm Navi from Ocarina of Time. Sometimes you forget to do things, okay? Hey, listen. God, that soundbite is like embedded into my brain from playing N64, that like Navi soundbite. Just the amount of time that I've heard it. You know, you walk into a boss room or something and she's like, hey, listen. And then like she points you at the boss and the boss falls from the sky and like just like obliterates you. No, nobody else had that happen? All right, just me. We do want to pick up caravels. This is the era to circumnavigate. We're going to want open borders with Mali so that we can do the circumnavigation when we get our caravel. Now, there's something crazy about seeing like multiple 15 pop cities in like the same area. That's crazy to me. So if we can get this city to grow a little, then we should be able to exert enough pressure to yoink Via Pura back. I don't know how to pronounce these cities. Listen, I'm just a man who plays video games for a living. What more can you expect of me than total and utter inadequacy? Urbanization? Urbanization unlocked. Neighborhoods might form an important part of my strategy later on, but probably not. Oh, right. I should probably evangelize my religion at this point. Let's grab 2 apostles to get that done. And then I suppose I will also grab another apostle to do an inquisition so I can flip the religion in the cities that I'm flipping. Depending on the person I'm up against, if they founded a religion, getting rid of their religion could actually be useful because you get a +3 benefit if the city is following your religion and it's your religion, and you get a -3 penalty if you've founded a religion and it's not following your religion. So I do have a 6 loyalty swing in my favor depending on the civ that I'm going up against. All right, let's do Inquisition Boom era score. And this era score is coming at a very critical era because I need almost like 80 points of, you know, that's going to be a tough one, let me tell you, okay? This is making it harder for me, this whole thing. Now, I've got some options. +1 science for every 4 followers of this religion. That could help make up for the fact. You know, that's actually quite good. 0.25 science per population in my cities following my religion, and also some for outside. Yeah, I reckon cross-cultural dialogue helps make up for the fact that my loyalty isn't amazing. And then I pick up scripture for better, you know, passive loyalty pressure alongside Jerusalem, who I should totally be picking up suzerainty of at some point in this game. It'll happen. Copium. There's something just hilarious about putting the word copium behind everything you say. Like that you're like, if you're remotely trying to say something positive, like, oh, you know, I think we're going to win. Copium. Or it's like, maybe tomorrow will be a good day. Copium. I don't know why it's such a fun phrase to use. Even if I'm probably not technically using it like 100% correctly. I don't care. Listen, using things correctly has never stopped me. I was going to make a mom joke there, but I, you know, there was no way to make it not weird. Aha, the city has come back to me. Thank you. Welcome back. Maybe this time with the assistance of the groundbreaker. Well, we'll wait a few turns because we actually do have a city here that we're working on. But maybe Magnus can turn the city around. -10 loyalty. I just need to get it under my religion. So that means Inquisitor time. 1 Inquisitor, 2 Inquisitor, 3 Inquisitor, 4 Inquisitor. Sitting on 2 envoys. Take back Valletta. Want to make friends with Jerusalem. Just committing to that. And then we got our circumnavigating caravel that we can just kind of like fire off into the void. He'll generate a little bit of era score for me. Oh, 1 turn until Loja becomes mine. Hello. Welcome to the blob. Cuenca, when are you joining the blob? It looks like you're joining in 7 turns. Oh, the blob. The blob. We are the blob. Look. They are flipping to us. Welcome to the blob. Oh, you don't have any of these buildings? What have you been doing? Oh my god. This is why we need gold, so we can buy all the cool stuff in here, like granary, watermill, prasat, and gurdwara. You even had a holy site for me? What a hero. Did you actually build an aqueduct? You did not build an aqueduct. But now we can come into Loja and be like, oh, remember all those farms this other city had? You don't need them anymore because this is the primary locus of, this is the prime materia of like housing explosion. Let's go ahead and grab it. Well, I think Amani can sit still because she's still like influencing these cities here. But man, are we keeping this city, and man, are we loyalty flipping everyone. It's happening. A wave of rebellion has struck the continent, and we are the blob. We are infinite. We will control everything. Our blobby, noodly pseudopods reach out to you in greeting. Welcome to the blob. I kind of wish I had I wish I had a button on my stream deck that like let me go to like 50s voice, so I could be like, we interrupt this news broadcast for an important message from the government. Your mom is a fool. Or, you know, whatever silly thing I decided to say. I need to, you know what? I'm going to hook that up someday. Someday I'm going to commit to the things that I say I'll do. Copium. Oh, it cracks me up sometimes. Honestly, this is a take that I have given many times before. And you know what, Morbus? You don't get the weird gammy here, okay? Here's the thing. Half the time, I don't know what I'm going to say. So when I say a joke and start laughing, it's not because, I think my jokes are hilarious. It's because I'm genuinely shocked with like whatever the insane thing that is just like fired out of my mouth. That's why I'm laughing. So my 1 gold was enough to secure me a bronze victory. So I got 50 Diplo favor out of that. That was pretty good. I didn't have to spend anything for it. Yum. Thank you very much, my friends. Now, they have stabilized a little bit in here, but I think the wave of rebellion, it cannot be stopped. Once it has begun, there is no stopping it. Let's grab ourselves Moksha. Actually, Moksha was established over here, so I could quickly develop the holy site and the aqueduct in here. So boom, boom. That should help the city a little bit. And then I'm going to grab Moksha and reassign him to the newest city that we grabbed. And in 5 turns, I'll be able to buy an entertainment complex and start running the bread and circuses and get the rest of these cities to flip. Let's go to max friendship with Jerusalem for that massive boost in our faith. Ooh, infantry kind of invading my territory here. I don't like that. That's not cool because I actually don't have walls on any of my cities. They could probably one-shot me if I'm being real here. I need you to go home. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's do 100% production towards... I think holy site buildings like suit me the best. Obviously, I would like plus 10 combat strength for people of my religion. But hey, you know, Nobel Prizes, though, I'm totally down for. So 100% production towards holy sites. My religion gets even thickest Maximus and the Nobel Prize in Literature past, which is all about generating great artist, writer, and musician points, which I don't super care about. But I do want other people to be wasting their time on it. That's why we pass these things, because the AI overvalues them and they waste all their production on them, trying to achieve them. Now, we got our bank, we got a holy site, we got an aqueduct. Now, in terms of late game war, look at our science. It's already cranking up. We're getting 52 science from our beliefs. Even though we're getting half of a culture per population or whatever it is, we're still scientifically more advanced than we should have any right to be, really. Let's see. So technologically, we are starting to climb up to the point where building encampments are probably the play. Building encampments to prepare for the construction of armies, to begin the pillaging. I think we might be able to conquer this eastern side without any warfare, but this western side, that's when the tanks are going to roll in. We're going to roll in, starve the people out until they peacefully flip to me. Which, you know, is a bit of an oxymoron to peacefully flip people by starving. Oh, loyalty, hello. Minus 0.1 loyalty. Now that could have caught me off guard and absolutely devastated me. However, I was mentally, emotionally, and physically prepared to click one button and completely eliminate this problem by assigning Magnus to the city. I don't think Navy is going to figure in much of this. Maybe a small Navy, so maybe like a few caravels will fit in. So we'll kind of start working on that just so we could pillage their like high food tiles on the coast, sit on them, prevent them from working food. Let's grab a Prasat. Oh, we got a meteor shower over here. Well, well, well. Gior has flipped independent. 3 turns until it's mine. 4 turns until this city's mine. Everything is coming up Millhouse. 2 envoys. Let's slap them into Jerusalem. We would like to be suzerain. Do we actually care about suzerainty of Jerusalem? We're going to flip these guys. Anyway, let's take the extra 2 points in Bandar Brunei. We have a few banks, so picking up that little bit of extra gold. 100%. You know, that's just a pro move, you know what I mean? Ah, free knight. Not that I have much use for a knight. In the future, it might become a tank, which I guess technically in the future, I'll have use for something that was a knight and is no longer. People are trying to neutralize my governor in my capital, which is kind of upsetting because this is a huge source of gold production or science and culture for me. So if they take that away, it would be upsetting. Yoink. +5 commercial or theater square. Boom, we got Moksha established in here. Buy that entertainment complex. Where it's placed actually doesn't really matter that much. The most important thing is that we can just actually play bread and circuses off. Keeper free a city. Yoink, Gior is mine, which means time for another Moksha relocation. Hello, Gior. Welcome to Moksha town. What have we got in here? Campus, holy site. Well, we want the holy site for sure. Let's get that down. And now even Pesh. Even Pex or Pesh or whatever it's called, where maybe when we get a few more cities out. I'm feeling good about the blob game. What is happening? Why is there a line across this lake? Is that line just going across all water in the fog of war? Oh, it is. Just the map line. All right, that makes sense. I would be surprised if any of my cities had housing issues because even my capital has had literally plus 5 housing headroom the entire game, the entire game, and it's still somehow continuing to grow. Cuenca, welcome to the blob, and many more to follow. Granada is next, although I could liberate Granada. Why would I liberate Granada when they could become part of the blob?